Good morning everybody, today is the 10th of May. Look at that, nearly halfway through the year. It'll soon be my birthday. Right, what I'm going to do this morning, a couple of people have asked me to show the maintenance on the pool, the Desjoyaux pools that we've got. And hi guys, why wouldn't you want to come to Thailand? Huh? Look at this. Awesome. Come visit. A simple, the maintenance that I do on the pool, and I think it's quite easy to maintain, but I'll let you make your own mind up about that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what I do, you know, daily or week, you know, but I'll just show you what I do when I clean it. And I'm rambling, sorry, let's get into it. Okay guys, so what I've got is I've got my big hose, and this is what you use to put over the filter to put the hose on to hoover the pool. This is just a simple, everything for the pool is in this unit here, 4 screws, and the way it's designed, it's a double lip so no water can get into it. And what's in here is all the pump and the electrics, and the electrics obviously come out and go into here, and this is earthed as well. I've got a picture, I'll show you that for when the repair was done. So this is pretty much it. You've got the skimmer here, you've got a light here which is a normal white light, or you can buy these filters. I've got a blue one, a red one and a green one I believe. We like the blue obviously because the pool's blue. And on this side you've just got the water pump. When it works out, goes through the filter and it pushes the water around, and this can be adjusted where you want it, and I was told which is the best position for it. So going into the top of this, and all you pretty much do is take that off and put it down. Get Mrs. Duck out, and what I use here, you can buy these. I brought one off of eBay in the UK and brought it back to me the last time I come, and these are supposed to absorb any oils that you may have on your skin. It's not a necessity, but I do think it does make a little bit of a difference. This is just like a foam one. So let's look into it. As you can see, this is the pump filler. Yeah, let me just get my trusty fishing rod out and just get all these little bits out here for now, so that it doesn't go down. So this is the basket that captures all of the big stuff, okay? And I just got a temperature gauge in there, and we're looking at just a tad over 30. So yeah, so in this basket, these are the Chlorine Pucks. These last between about 3 to 4 days. And a bucket of these lasts 1,700 baht from Desjoyaux, and they send them to me in a minivan, and I'll go and pick them up at the local bus station, and they last about 3 to 3.5 months, a bucket, right? So there's your idea, your maintenance. So all I do is obviously clean this out. I'll show you that in a minute. And this is the bag filter here. Once the pool stops running, I will clean the bag filter and show you that, but all I'm going to do now is show you what I do to turn the pump into a hoover. So as you can see, there's 2 parts to this, and this recessed bits here fit over the holes, and then what you do is you pop that on the top of the filter, get your hoover. I'm gonna and then I'm gonna do it because you need 2 hands for this. This bit you put over here, right? So it pumps the water through it, so it makes sure there's no air in it. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and then you're gonna see it'll just go into the small hole in the top, and then it'll turn from that. I'm hoping I can do this so you can see it, guys. Okay, let me turn that down. There might be a bit of editing here. So that goes into there, and you can see it's pushing all the water through. So that's pushing water out, okay? So once the water gets pushed out, then you take this and then you pop that in there, and as you can see, either side of where the hose goes in, it's creating like a vacuum now, and now this pipe is sucking. Look, I'll show you, see? And then what you do on that is, sorry guys, there we go. So then what you do with that then is you put your you got a big long pole and you put your cleaner on it. I'll show you that in a minute, and then you just go and hoover the pool. Me, I normally clean the pool when I'm in it, because I can get down there and clean it out even better than going up and down with the cleaning. You get a brush to brush the sides, and you get this thing that this sucks into, and it goes onto the sucker thing, and you put it down. It's got little brushes around it, but I will show you that in a minute, okay? And then you just hoover the pool up and down, left and right, and do what you want to do with it. That is the cleaning of the pool. And then when the pump goes off, I'll show you how I clean the bag out. Guys, as you can see, the hose is in the unit, like I've just showed you where it goes in. That goes onto there, then that goes onto the pole, which is extendable, and then underneath it you can see it's got brushes and a hoover, and you can adjust the suctionability out of it by these little things here, and then you run that along the pole and it brushes it and sucks everything up. Okay guys, so the pump's turned off. Get my little trusty fisherman's net, and here we go. See, I'm lifting this out. Okay, I'm just going to put you down a little bit because this is quite heavy. There we go, lift this out. That is a 5 micron filter bag, and they're simple. You can get 30 microns, 40 microns, 20 microns. The lower the micron, the more it filters. And all this, I mean, they just come apart by pulling this apart, and it just fits in, and just a push fit, right, if you need to take it. And now you'll see when I clean it how much crap it puts in there. So that is pretty much it. Then all you do is you put everything back in. As I said, I keep my thermometer in there because I had it all floating around and it ends up in the filter anyway, so I put it back down there. So that is pretty much the maintenance. In a minute we'll go on to the testing of the pH and the chlorine in the pool, and I'll show you how to do that. So all you do is reassemble that, and while we're here, when the pool was built and I built all the steps, I put a cold water feed in here. This actually goes through our carbon filter for the water for the house, and the water for the house is only for showering and washing up in. Bottled water drinking all the way. And I top the pool up with this. You can get pools obviously with automatic top-ups. For me, this is why we chose this, and it's not for everybody, but we chose this because there's no underground piping, and I'm sure you got pools of underground piping. It's absolutely fine, right? Each to their own, and everyone's entitled to do what they want, and I'm fully agreeable. But this suited us because we didn't want any underground pipes anywhere, because if they go wrong you've got to dig them all up, and we didn't want to do that. So everything is there. The only thing that goes to that unit is electricity for the running of the pump, and the pump is a 2.6 kilowatts, a very, very small pump, and we have it on 10 hours a day. It's a very, very small pump, so you know, one, hopefully if it needs to replace, it's not a lot of money. Two, the low running costs of it anyway, because it's on 10 hours a day. You want your pool on, I would say, it depends. We get a lot of stuff off the trees here, and that's why I went to the 5 micron bag. But again, it's cheap running costs because it's only 2 kilowatt and it's on for 10 hours. You want your pool on really, I would say, for me, this is a 3x5 pool, 1.5 at its deepest point. For me, 10 hours is really gives it good, and I split that. It goes off at 9 in the morning until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, then it comes back on at 4 o'clock in the evening till 10 o'clock at night. That's set on automatic. You've got a manual override where you can just turn it on fully if you've got a lot of people in for the day and you've got some friends round and you're all in and out of the pool. Just turn it to manual and leave it on. But yeah, so for us it was just the simplicity of the cleaning. I know people say they haven't got to do this if they've got a fully pumped system. Technically you have, because Lisa used to have a swimming pool in her garden in the UK, and you got sand filters and stuff, and people say it's for salt. If they go for salt pools, it's more eco. Don't take my word for it. You go check out. If you have a salt pool, there still is chlorine in it. You've got to have chlorine. It's just it's got salt added. For me, salts are corrosive, and we didn't want that type of thing to have, because all it does is at your pump house, the chlorinator will be there, and it adds salt in as well to it. So if you go for a salt pool, it's not just salt, it is chlorine. So you've all got to do your own checks and your own what you want for your garden, where you are, and what you're happy with, what you're happy paying for, and the maintenance. As I said, for me this is really simple. Yeah, we've had it 4 years now. The only issue, we had one light go here, and the light, all it does is you unscrew that there, take it out, and there's the light. See, now these are normal bulbs, right, and this unit is what's sealed. And then when the guy come and replaced it for me, he just takes the back off of there, pulls the cord through, so you can pull this out of the water, and then you literally just unscrew them there, change the bulb and put one in. And when I looked and thought, wow, that's pretty easy, he didn't even turn the electric off, to be honest with you, and I'm like, really? But anyway, if I have to change the bulb again after seeing what he done, I can change that. And so it's just a case of making sure the electric's turned off. Not just swimming pools, everything you do. So yeah, and obviously the issues we had, we thought it was the switch on the main unit. That was a bit dodgy anyway, but what it was the condenser. There's a condenser for the pools, and your pump is like a starter motor for your car. What it does, it supplies a little electrical start for the pump to start it up. And as I said, I replaced the switch. It was 145 baht, which isn't a lot of money. and the condenser was 450 baht. So 450 baht, 400 bahts, 10 quid, 50 bahts, a pound, £1.50. So it's 11, yeah, 11, about 11, no, what am I talking about? 400 baht, 450. It's about 11, 12 quid to replace that, and the switch was 145 baht. So 100 baht is £2.50, £3.50 for the switch, and about 11, 12 quid for the condenser. Again, Paul at Desjoyaux he videoed his electrician changing the condenser, and I looked in there, and it's only a push fit, and he sent that to me, and I felt comfortable. Turn the electric off, obviously, change the condenser, touch wood, everything's good. So what we do now is we'll just go on to me showing you how I test the pH and the chlorine in the pool. Okay, stay tuned still. The pH and the chlorine with. I bought this from Lazada. I think it was about 50 baht. You can use tablets, whatever, but I find the liquids better because the tablets, even though they're in a full pack, do tend to get a bit moist, and that's it. So what you've got here, I don't know whether or not you can see, this side is pH, this side is chlorine, and then you've got, it says here ideal, but it should be a little bit, it should be like yellowish but on the verge of pink, and the pinker it is, the higher the pH. As you see, you've got 8.5, so your pH there, as it says, is 7.6, so which is ideal. And your chlorine, you've got 3 bars here, which is, you know, you've got quite a lot of leeway here, and it shows the pH. So what you do first of all, I take it down to the second step, and I just fill it with water, and then on the side here you've got 2 little marks, and all I do is just flick it until it gets to those marks. If one mark is lower than the other, I just get a little bit of pool water and top that up. So make sure I put it right. I'm looking now. Yeah, this is pH, right? So you've got your red and you've got your yellow. So your pH here, there, it's on this particular case, it gives you instructions all in the top of it. You put 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 drops, and that, pop the lid on, and this one is for the chlorine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 drops of that in for there. Put the lid on, give it a little shakeroonie, a bit of Tom Cruise on the cocktail, not that you'd want to drink it. And as you can see, for this I would say the chlorine is most probably, the pH is about here and just in between, so it's a little bit higher, which I like to keep it a little bit higher, because normally the pH should be the same pH as your body, which is about 7.4, 7.6. Normally when you jump in a swimming pool and you say, oh wow, you know, the chlorine's strong in this pool, in your eyes, it's not the chlorine, it's the pH. It's because the pH is most probably too low and it's getting in your eyes and making it affect. So yeah, and then you read off of that, it's slightly pink, so I would say that's pretty good. The chlorine, I would say where that's ideal, I would say most probably it's a little bit slightly high. Then all I would do with that is when the chlorine puck diminishes and goes, I might leave it a day, yeah, before I put another one in, so it comes down. But what does affect the pool is rain, sunshine. Hey, at the moment we're getting a lot of that in Thailand, obviously, and so you've got to keep an eye on your pool. Normally, if you've got issues with your pool, if the pH plus is too low, you buy, it's basically soda ash, but I would be careful where you get your produce from, because some cheaper soda ash doesn't really do it. You get quality stuff. Now Desjoyaux, and I'm not sponsored by Desjoyaux at all, their stuff is really, really good quality, you know, and so you know, you would put in, say, so many scoops of the pH plus into a bucket, mix it with water, make it so it's a liquid, the powder, so it's all liquid in, and in the evening when the sun goes down, you just rinse it around the pool and let it run, and then it's fine to use the next day. and that's how you raise the pH up. To lower the pH, you have a pH minus, which you do exactly the same thing, and then you test it until you get it where it is. And then the chlorine, as I said, if your pool's not working for some particular reason, which I just went through all that, yeah, as you know, if you watch my other ones, I've got Chlorine Shock, and it's smaller tablets. They dissolve instantly, unlike the pucks you put in there, and then you can shock it. And you can't use the pool while you're doing that, at least for 24 hours I would say, maybe 48, but you shock it and bring the chlorine back up quickly. But what it is you'll get to know your own pool. And I know it sounds stupid, that was said to me a long time ago, but you get to know your own pool. You've only got to look at it and think, yeah, okay, I think I'll test it. But I test this once a week normally. But if you have issues with your pool, chlorine or pH, then I would test it every day until you get it right. And it's just a matter of, you know, trial and error, getting it right, what's right for your pool. But that's pretty much that, guys. So guys, I hope the video was helpful. As I said, a couple of my subscribers asked me to do just a video on the pool maintenance, a short video, but it can't be a short video really because it takes the time that it takes. But anyway, I hope it answers the questions that some of my subscribers asked me, and fellow YouTubers as well. So again, thanks very much for all your comments. I think I've answered everything, and really appreciate you taking the time out to watch my channel and following us in Thailand. So have a great day, folks, and as always, stay safe.